Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your #1 source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
A Harnett County deputy involved in a crash that killed 2 people has been indicted for 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter.
We have cloudy skies right now, but there is rain on the way by tomorrow and for parts of the weekend. I'll show you the timeline.
Plus, the storm is brewing out here at PNC Arena. It's game day, and fans can't wait for the start of the Eastern Conference Final.
A Harnett County deputy is now indicted in the deaths of a couple from Minnesota. Good afternoon to you. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. Thanks for joining us. Brian and Patricia Finch died when their truck was hit by the deputy's cruiser back in March. WRAL's Chelsea Donovan has been covering this story since the beginning. She is live in Harnett County with what she's learning about the deputy. Chelsea.
Renee, this morning an arrest order was issued for 36-year-old Kevin Letarte. He is a 5-year veteran here of the Harnett County Sheriff's Office. I spoke to his attorney early this morning. She tells me that Letarte was indicted by a grand jury on Monday afternoon on these 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. After that is when a judge preset a bond in this case for $5,000 unsecured for Kevin Letarte. Now, these indictments stem from an incident that happened on March the 3rd in Harnett County. The Highway Patrol says in their report that Letarte was involved in a pursuit on Highway 210 when he failed to yield and hit a truck that was at Ray Road. Brian and Patricia Finch of Minnesota were inside. They were attempting to cross that intersection at that time. They both died. Now, the Highway Patrol said Letarte was going 95 miles per hour. He has been on administrative leave since the incident. The Highway Patrol also said that Letarte had his sirens and his blue lights on as he was pursuing a suspect. Now, Brian and Patricia Finch were leaving Florida, heading back to Minnesota when they were making a pit stop to see friends in Harnett County. They never made it. I spoke with Letarte's attorney today who said, quote, "This is a tragic accident. Deputy Letarte is deeply saddened by the loss of life and is struggling. He has cooperated with this investigation." We should mention that after that incident, Letarte himself sustained serious injuries and he was hospitalized for quite some time. Now, I reached out to the Harnett County Sheriff's Office. They have no comment at this time. We should mention that Letarte is scheduled for a first appearance on these charges on Monday morning. It is then that a judge could set a new bond in this case. Renee.
Chelsea Donovan reporting live outside the Harnett County Sheriff's Office. Chelsea, thanks.
We are keeping our eyes on a massive fire in Charlotte's South Park neighborhood. Take a look at this video. The fire started shortly before 10 this morning at a parking garage construction area. We're told the flames spread to a 2-building apartment complex that is under construction right now. Firefighters spent nearly an hour trying to help someone who was trapped on a construction crane there. We're told that person is safe now. No word on injuries or a cause. We have updates coming your way as we get them on air and online. We're also working to learn the name of a woman who was shot and killed last night in Durham. WRAL News Tracker was there as police searched the scene on Glasson Street. Officers taped off the apartment complex around 10 p.m. Authorities say the woman was rushed to a Durham area hospital where she died. The shooting does not appear to be random.
Our weather feels refreshing today. No need for the umbrella, but you may need it tomorrow morning.
Elizabeth Gardner is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with a look at how it could affect our morning commute, Elizabeth.
And we take a look at what's happening right now. We do have some cloud cover. Our wind is coming out of the east-northeast, so it's coming off the Atlantic. So we are seeing some of that moisture building in. The next thing that happens is a low will begin to form down here off the coast of South Carolina. We're already starting to see some rain down here around the Wilmington beaches. That will spread northward overnight and be with us during the morning commute. The low will continue to track up the coast and eventually take that rain with it. Then we'll see a second system that rolls in for Saturday night into Sunday. But let's talk about the rest of the day today. We're looking at the potential for a good bit of cloud cover. This is 5 o'clock. We're going to stay dry through the day today. There may be a few isolated showers this evening down south, but it's likely to be after midnight before we see much rain moving through. As a matter of fact, we don't really start to see that in the Triangle area until around 6 a.m. It will continue to spread northward, especially
especially from Raleigh eastward and southward. Honestly, if you're in our 2 or 3 western counties, you may not see much of this rain at all because of the system that's rolling up the coast. It will continue to pull away. As we're getting closer to lunchtime, we begin to see it drying out around the triangle, and by mid-afternoon, all of that rain has shifted eastward to the coast, and it looks like, at least from the latest run of the models, that the evening commute would be dry everywhere. It'll be dry most likely for us on Saturday, and then we have another front that comes through Saturday night. We're going to take a closer look at that in a few minutes. One thing that we will see this afternoon with this system moving closer to us up the coast is it will be a bit breezy. We'll see some gusts this afternoon up to 20 miles per hour.
Elizabeth, thanks. Even though it's May, it is hurricane season, the hockey kind. The Canes are back in action tonight for the first game of the Eastern Conference Final. Only 4 teams left in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and the Canes hope to be the only ones standing. WRAL's Brett Neese is live outside PNC Arena before the Canes take on the Florida Panthers tonight. Brett, Canes have worked hard to get to this point, and fans are ready to keep cheering them on.
Yeah, Renee, they have, and it's been about a week since the Canes last took the ice here when they wrapped up round 2 against New Jersey last Thursday. But in just a couple of hours, thousands of fans are going to pack this parking lot for a tradition, a hurricane tradition unlike any other, the tailgating that happens out here. It is impressive. You're going to see plenty of people out here with tents and grills. Of course, there's plenty of beer to go around. It's an essential part of the game day experience here at PNC Arena. And it really sets the tone before people go inside the loudest house in the NHL to cheer on the Hurricanes.
The excitement was like, could barely sleep just trying to leave to come down here because all the tailgating and stuff, that's a really big part of before the games and stuff like that. So we always have a good time. I meet lots of new people, different people too, and we always have a good time.
So the deeper that the team makes in a playoff run, the more intense the tailgating gets. Last round, I met people out here that were here as early as 2 o'clock before some games. So that means maybe people are about to show up here in the next 30 minutes or so, Renee. The tailgating is essential to the game day experience.
And they'll have great weather for it. And then when they go inside, it will be the loudest house in the NHL once again. Brett Neese live outside PNC Arena. Be sure to join us at 7:30 p.m. for special pregame coverage of all the Canes excitement. We'll preview the series with the Panthers, everything you need to know before the puck drops at 8. Then after the game, turn to us for post-game coverage during our late news. At 11:25, we'll have an exclusive post-game show. You'll hear from fans, players, and of course, Coach Rod Brindamore.
Rafael Nadal says he'll miss the French Open tennis tournament due to injury. Nadal has won the tournament a record 14 times. He injured his hip during his second round defeat in the Australian Open. Initially, he had hoped to be fit enough to play, but the 22-time Grand Slam champ says the recovery process is taking longer than anticipated. Nadal hopes to return for the Davis Cup finals, which begin in September. The IRS identified more than 1 million tax returns for possible identity theft this past tax season. The latest figures show nearly 1.1 million returns were flagged, and that was just through early March. Of those, more than 12,000 returns were confirmed to be fraudulent. That was a 30% increase over the same period a year earlier. The IRS has taken steps to fight the fraud. It is now using hundreds of filters to verify the identity of each tax return filed.
Durham Public Schools is debating whether to continue using software to track student activity on school-issued devices. The school board plans to vote on the future use of Gaggle at its 6:30 meeting tonight. Gaggle monitors what students are looking up or typing on school accounts using keywords typed on devices. Any mention of violence or self-harm is immediately reported to staff. Some parents argue the software is intrusive. Wake County schools stopped using it last fall over concerns it took away from classroom time and required more staff to monitor outside of school hours. Local organizations are promoting good mental health with community events for Mental Health Action Day. A Latinx youth-led evening of mental health activities is planned at El Futuro on Chapel Hill Road in Durham. It will include information sessions for parents as well as supportive community resources. It's happening from 4 to 8 tonight.
May is National Trauma Awareness Month. Today, Wake Med honored the day with its first ever Trauma Survivors event. It brought together trauma survivors and their care teams to reconnect, reflect, and recognize the accomplishments and progress of patients. People there heard from trauma survivors, special guests, and Wake Med leadership.
they come up and they say, like, look, you've got this, we're here, and we called your family and they're on the way, and we're gonna do this. Together, we're gonna do this. And that makes all the difference in that situation, because all you're thinking is, this is the worst day of my life.
Wake Med offers the highest quality acute care and trauma surgery for critically ill and severely injured patients throughout Wake County and surrounding areas.
Next at noon, a multi-million-dollar lawsuit is settled by Deutsche Bank. The connection to child sex predator Jeffrey Epstein.
Also, the Raleigh NAACP wants the FBI to look into the Holly Springs Police Department, the investigation at the center of their inquiry.
And a live look right now in Ocracoke. New information this noon on when the ferry will be taking people to the island.
Download the new WRAL streaming apps on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and Android TV.
Only on WRAL, we're hearing from a black North Carolina lawmaker who was questioned by a fellow lawmaker about how he got into Harvard. Listen to what Representative Jeff McNeely said during a debate about a bill that would expand private school vouchers to families of all incomes.
Would you have been able to maybe achieve this if you were not an athlete or a minority?
That was directed towards State Representative Abe Jones about his admission into Harvard University. Speaking with WRAL's Chris Lovingood, Jones said he was caught off guard. He finished in the top 40% of his class at Harvard and went on to Harvard Law School. McNeely apologized for what he said.
I want to deeply apologize to Representative Jones and to this entire body. I respect Representative Jones. I think he's a great legislator. I think he's a great man. What I tried to ask or say did not come out right.
And I accepted his apology, so I did and I do. However, that doesn't forgive the import of the statement.
Jones said about 8 other Republican lawmakers came up to him to apologize as well. The controversial discussion happened as the State House approved a bill to expand private school vouchers by more than $400 million. House Bill 823 would also make every family eligible for the vouchers, regardless of income. In the past, the so-called opportunity scholarships were for low-income families. Vouchers are checks written to private or religious schools to cover some or all of the cost of tuition for students enrolled in those schools.
Deutsche Bank has agreed to pay $75 million to settle a lawsuit filed by women who say they were abused by sex predator Jeffrey Epstein. The settlement accused the bank of enabling and benefiting from Epstein's sex trafficking of young women. J.P. Morgan Chase now has to defend its own would-be class lawsuit. Epstein killed himself in a Manhattan federal jail in 2019, a month after being arrested on child sex trafficking charges. A Florida judge has ordered Tiger Woods and his ex-girlfriend to resolve their conflict through private arbitration. The legal issues stemmed from whether the dispute should be resolved privately under the terms of a non-disclosure agreement. Erica Herman claims she was forced to sign the document when they started dating. At the time, Herman worked at a restaurant owned by Woods. The matter became public when allegations of sexual harassment surfaced following their breakup in October. Herman said Woods arranged to kick her out of his house, so she sued for $30 million. Today is the 200th anniversary of the Ocracoke Lighthouse, and it is the 2,500th Tar Heel Traveler story, 2,500 since the series debuted in 2007. Tar Heel Traveler Scott Mason joins us live from Ocracoke, where the Lighthouse anniversary celebration less than an hour away now. Scott?
Well, Jeff, it just seems fitting that our 2,500th Tar Heel Traveler story matches up with the 200th anniversary of the Lighthouse. It just happened that way. So really, 2 celebrations. This one here begins at 1 p.m. and it honors that 75-foot tall landmark that opened in 1823.
Oh, it's very important. Just a large part of who we are as a people here on the island.
It's amazing. Second oldest lighthouse continuous service in the United States.
200 years.
200 years, yes, sir.
It's always awe-inspiring to see a cultural resource like this and the fact that human hands 200 years ago did a pretty good job of getting this like it should be.
It attracts everybody, including home folks. You know, people come down and you've seen it 1,000 times, but you'll see it again.
The lighthouse is still used as a navigational aid, and the light comes on when the sun goes down. It is a fixed light, one that does not revolve, but which projects about 14 miles out to sea. People here are getting ready for the 1 p.m. celebration, and we'll have more on that tonight in our usual Tar Heel Traveler slot at 5:55. Beautiful day here on Ocracoke. Jeff?
It is appointment television. We won't miss it. And congratulations, Scott, 2,500. That is some amazing feat. Appreciate it. If you want to go see that lighthouse, the popular ferry is opening for the season next Tuesday. The Ocracoke Express passenger ferry will carry up to 129 passengers on 3 round trips a day from Hatteras. One-way fares are $7.50. Children 3 and under can ride for free. You can make reservations at ncferry.org. And once you get on the island, you can ride the free tram around the village to the shops, restaurants, and attractions.
The Ocracoke Lighthouse and Scott Mason both celebrating big milestones. Elizabeth, his live shot, it looked a little cloudy, so it seems like the clouds are extending all the way to the coast.
They are. Well, so this is a low that's developing on the coast, and that low is going to roll right by Scott. As long as I'm assuming he's spending the night there, because I know he's doing some more live shots for our evening newscast. So by the time we get to dinner time at Ocracoke, they're going to start to see the showers. We won't see them until tomorrow morning. So we take a look at Wilson, and we're looking at mostly cloudy skies here. It's a bit breezy. You can see the whirligig spinning around. Right now, the temperature is 70. It feels very pleasant outside. You know, sometimes it's nicer to see a little bit of sunshine, but the clouds are keeping our temperatures at 70 right now. Our dew point's at 52. That's a very comfortable dew point for this time of year. It starts to feel sticky and muggy in the mid to upper 60s and into the 70s, and we're not going to see that anytime soon, unfortunately. We take a look at temperatures through the afternoon. We're just going to hold it in the low to mid 70s through the afternoon. We take a look at the winds. Again, we saw those whirligigs spinning over in Wilson. We're seeing gusts up to around 20 miles per hour. That's about as strong as our winds will get this afternoon. We're seeing steady winds out of the east-southeast at about 5 to 10, down to 15 here in Southern Pines and 13 in Fayetteville. It's gusty in Fayetteville, gusting to almost 25 in Fayetteville right now and 18 down in Clinton. So we're looking at those gusts 20, maybe up to 25 in some places this afternoon as that low gets cranked up off the coast. A pollen forecast is brand new, just came in a couple of hours ago. Low for weeds, it's high for trees and grasses. The trees that are causing the most problems right now are birch and hickory, and then of course the grasses. That's our pollen forecast. Our highs this afternoon feeling very pleasant in the mid 70s in Raleigh and Durham, looking at 78 in Fayetteville for this afternoon. We take a look at Futurecast and definitely seeing a good bit of cloud cover. We're seeing that flow coming up. We're seeing our winds at the surface coming out of the east, but watch the rain starting to slide up from the south. And by 9 p.m., we're seeing a few stray showers down to the south. But we don't see rain really across our area until tomorrow morning. We're going to walk through tomorrow morning again coming up and talk about the timing of the front that we'll see Saturday and into Sunday. Bulls forecast for tonight looking great at 6 o'clock, 70 degrees. We'll fall into the mid 60s by the time the game is over. And same thing at the Carolina Hurricanes. If you're going to be out there early, say 5 o'clock for tailgating, temperatures will be in the low 70s. It'll be in the low 60s by the time the game is over. But still, great weather for tailgating. It is going to be dry for us for the rest of the afternoon and evening. Our normal high is 80, and so we'll keep it at or below that for the next 5 days. Our muggy meter will start to go up a little bit Friday and Saturday with that chance for some moisture. But if we see that moisture sliding out of here fast enough on Sunday, our dew points will drop or our humidity will drop behind it. So many things happening over the weekend. Got to be in Sea Festival is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you're headed out after work tomorrow, it looks like it's going to be on the drier side. You should be fine. We're going to see some rain in the morning, but that rain slides out of here pretty quickly on Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, a front comes through Saturday night, and we're going to talk about how long into Sunday we may see some showers. Right now it looks nice and dry Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
And liking those temperatures. Elizabeth, thanks. Coming up on WRAL News at 5, neighbors in Raleigh's Oakwood community will get a better idea tonight about how a new transportation plan will impact their community. 2 words will likely catch their attention: taller and denser. WRAL's Matt Tallhelm will explain what that means. And tonight at 5:30, one of the best-known hotel properties in Fayetteville is getting new life, but as something quite different. Gilbert Bays shows us what's in store for the Holiday Inn Bordeaux and Conference Center.
Well, still ahead this noon, change could be coming to a drive-through near you. Coming up, the delivery system Wendy's plans to test this year.
And it's peak running season. Whether you're training for a 5K or a marathon, there are several things you can do to stay healthy. How to avoid foot injuries after the break. We have cloudy skies here as well as over White Lake, where you are looking live now. That's 2 hours southeast of us. You're watching WRAL News, available on Spectrum and the WRAL app on your TV or streaming device. Some popular sports bras, leggings, shirts, and other athletic apparel may contain toxic chemicals that could cause health problems. Bisphenol A, or BPA, is linked to health conditions including asthma, diabetes, heart disease, even cancer. The Center for Environmental Health notified 8 brands about its concerns. Tests showed the apparel exposed wearers to up to 40 times the safe limit of BPA. The list includes leggings from Athleta, Champion, Kohl's, Nike, and Patagonia. Also, sports bras from Sweaty Betty, athletic shirts from Fabletics, and shorts from Adidas, Champion, and Nike. If you have those items, experts advise you to limit your time in them after working out or just throw them away.
Whether you're gearing up for a marathon or just want to run longer distances, there are some things you can do to avoid foot injuries. Since all running shoes are different, experts suggest breaking up the repetitive stress placed on your feet. Changing up the shoes you wear or a supportive insole can also help reduce your risk for foot injuries. Podiatrists say daily exercise and stretches are also key.
Not only do foot strengthening and stability exercises help you as you prepare for your run, but also while you're running, the better prepared your feet are, it reduces your risk of injury and it reduces long-term problems like stress fracture.
Runners should visit a podiatrist if they experience swelling, bruising, or a long-term issue that doesn't go away with home remedies.
Jeff knows he's a marathoner. The company behind a popular fertility app must now pay $200,000 for leaking customers' health data. The money covers federal and state fines. Regulators say the app, known as Premom, shared patient data with Google and 2 companies in China for years without their consent. Premom did not admit to any wrongdoing, but is now banned from sharing personal information for advertising purposes. Teenagers can now ride in an Uber by themselves with their parents' permission. The rideshare company is letting parents and guardians create an account for kids ages 13-17. They can link the account to a central family profile. The app will now notify parents when teens request a ride, and they'll send a notification when the teens reach their destination.
Wendy's is partnering with autonomous logistics company Pipedream to test an underground delivery system. Customers would be able to drive to an instant pickup portal. That's a parking space where they wait for their online order. A robot would then take the food order from the kitchen and travel through tunnels to deliver it directly to the customer. The fast food chain says the tunnels will be temperature controlled to prevent the food from getting cold. Wendy's plans to test this system later this year.
You're looking at a live picture of PNC Arena where the storm is brewing. We will have a live report coming up from Casey Hintz.
And here are your winning lottery numbers on your screen right now.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your #1 source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
The Raleigh NAACP is demanding an FBI investigation into the Holly Springs Police Department. The group is questioning the arrest of a man for pellet gun shootings that took place more than 2 years ago.
WRAL's Shelley Jackson joins us from downtown where a news conference just wrapped up. Shelley?
Well, Jeff, Henderson Atwater was arrested for a series of pellet gun shootings which began in 2020. He was charged with 26 counts of shooting into occupied property and 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon. And now, 2 years later, Atwater is behind bars and maintaining his innocence. Now, the NAACP held a news conference today demanding a federal investigation into the case. They say law enforcement originally identified the suspect as a white man, and last month, his defense team says they obtained video they say shows a white suspect behind the wheel of an Audi.
video evidence had been in possession of the Holly Springs Police Department since April of 2020. This is a clear case of police misconduct.
Now, we have reached out to the Holly Springs Police Department. We have not heard back yet. Right now, the NAACP is demanding Atwater's immediate release. Jeff.
Shelley Jackson reporting downtown Raleigh. Thanks for that update.
County by county coverage takes us to Cumberland, Granville, and Orange counties. The Cumberland County Board of Commissioners approved a concept design for the new Crown Event Center. The layout includes a 2-story lobby and a rooftop terrace that faces Gillespie Street. The 3-story concept also includes a main event hall that can hold 3,000 people. The event center will be built on county-owned property in downtown Fayetteville.
Via Health is hosting a Tri-County Wellness Fair this weekend. The event takes place Saturday from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. in the 200 block of Orange Street in Granville County. The event is free and open to all. It includes health screenings, a dental bus, food trucks, and activities for the kids. If it rains, the event will be held at the Orange Street Community Center.
Chapel Hill's parking ticket payment system is due for an upgrade. It will begin Sunday at 5 p.m. and go until Friday, May 26th. There will be no way to pay a ticket or purchase a park and ride permit. Stay connected with Chapel Hill Parking at parkonthehill.com.
Carolina Hurricanes are getting ready for Game 1 tonight, a big one at PNC Arena starting the Eastern Conference Final. WRAL's Casey Hinch joins us live there now with some of the players preparing to take on these Florida Panthers. Casey.
Jeff, it feels like we haven't played in forever. I should say the guys haven't played in forever. It's been a full week since these guys have hit the ice, but boy, they were ready this morning at morning skate, getting ready for their first Eastern Conference Final since 2019. This is also the first matchup in the postseason between the Panthers and the Canes, but we know the Carolina-Florida bloodlines run deep. You'll hear those storylines running all day long. But on the ice, these two teams couldn't have had a more different regular season. Panthers had to scratch and claw their way just to be a wild card team, but the Panthers are not your average wild card team. No, they're just a year removed from the President's Trophy, and they play a very similar style to the Canes, which would make for a good, tight series. Now, it's been a whole week since these guys have played a game, and the fellows I spoke to this morning all said they just can't wait to hit the ice tonight.
It's good to have a couple of days off, and then once you're practicing too often, you get sick of that and you just want to get back to the competitive edge of playing playoff games. So both teams are kind of in the same boat, whether it's been 7 days or 6 days. So, yeah, we're excited. We're excited to finally get the puck going tonight and can't wait till 8 o'clock comes.
We're very comfortable with our game and how we do things, and it's just a matter of going out and executing, and I think we'll have some good results. But just definitely, I mean, the top 4 teams left is always great, and you want to keep moving forward, though.
Now, in the words of Rod Brindamore, Teuvo Teravainen should be ready to go. Roddy said Turbo gave him the thumbs up yesterday, so he's got to get them in there. This is just incredible. He will be a huge boost to this lineup, but you got to remember he had surgery on his wrist just a month ago, so having Teravainen back in this lineup so soon couldn't have come at a better time. Jeff?
Certainly some offensive firepower inserted into that lineup at just the right time. Casey, keep it right there because we'll be at PNC Arena all day. Join us at 7:30 for special pregame coverage of all the Canes excitement. We'll preview this series with the Panthers, everything you need to know before the puck drops at 8 o'clock tonight. Then after the game, you can tune in to us for postgame coverage during our late news. At 11:25, we'll have an exclusive postgame show. You'll hear from the fans, players, Rod Brindamore, everything you need to know after this Game 1.
Still to come, a Cary middle schooler is in the finals for a cool contest from Google. How her artistic talent could be on display and how you can help her win it all.
Plus, a Chicago restaurant puts Filipino food and culture on the map. A big honor that makes this restaurant a first in the world.
A 13-year-old student is putting Cary Academy on the map. Gail Salim's artwork was selected out of tens of thousands as part of the Doodle for Google contest. Congratulations on becoming one of the 55 state and territory winners. Gail, thanks for joining us. So you were asked to answer the prompt, I am grateful for blank through your art. How did you answer that? And tell us what your doodle means.
Thank you. So during COVID, we spent a lot more time outside, and I just had a moment of like realizing that colors are really important to our life. And I just wanted to show that through my art.
Well, that is definitely shown through all those beautiful colors there. And of course, this contest, you can create the doodle that you see when people do Google searches. So really awesome. Billy, we know you are one proud father. When did you notice that she had this talent?
Since very young age, she has a summer camp picking up photography, and she loves books talking about techniques of illustration. So by that time, we noticed she's really a visual person. So yeah, I think that's creativity is part of her. So we encourage her to keep drawing. Yeah, that's.
That encouragement is clearly working. That's more than just a doodle. It's a piece of art, right, Josette, who is her teacher, Josette Holland. Talk to us about Gail's passion for art.
Thank you. Gail has shown such a thoughtfulness and beautiful skill in communicating through color, whether it's with technical drawing or landscape painting or digital design. She's just phenomenal.
Gail, what would you like to do in the future? Does it include art?
Yeah, I'd like to. Maybe something with design or something where I can be creative.
And describe your doodle that you submitted for the contest. I know you talked about wanting to have colors, but what did you really want to convey in that doodle drawing?
Well, like I said, during COVID, we take lots of walks through our neighborhood, and there were a lot of moments where I was like, wow, the sunset, it's so beautiful. And so I just really wanted to have that in my doodle so that other people could experience it too.
So you're one of the finalists in this contest, but voting for the favorite doodle is now open, and you all watching can help Gail become one of the 5 national finalists, one of whom will become the national winner and be featured on Google. And you can go to doodleforgoogle.com. Gail, way to represent, and I think your artwork is beautiful. I think you've just gotten a lot of votes. We appreciate you talking with us.
Thank you so much.
Best of luck to you.
Yeah, let's pack that vote box for her. That is fantastic stuff. The iconic ruby slippers from The Wizard of Oz ended up missing from a museum. Dorothy isn't the one that took them either. Ahead, where they were found and the charges one man is facing in connection to their disappearance. And a Chicago restaurant is making history with its Filipino cuisine. Coming up, the top rating it has earned in the short time it's been open. People in Garner have been anxiously waiting for the opening of the new Lidl grocery store. And this week, the company announced an official opening date, including some great giveaways. WRAL Smart Shopper Faye Prosser is here with all the details. And Faye, when's the store opening and what grand opening activities can shoppers expect to find when they get there?
Yeah, there's a lot of fun coming with this grand opening. So the new Lidl in Garner opens on Wednesday, June the 14th. It's located at 2694 Timber Drive in the Garner Town Square Shopping Center right off Highway 70. There will be a ribbon cutting at 7:40 a.m. on June 14th, and then the store opens at 8. Plus, if you are one of the first 100 customers in line before it opens, you'll get a gift card worth anywhere between $5 and $100. And there will be lots of sampling and giveaways going on. And with this grand opening, they're doing something new. There's an open house on June the 13th from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., including a tour of the new store, free samples, goodie bags while they last. Keep in mind there will be no shopping during the open house. You can see all the details for this fun grand opening on the Smart Shopper page.
And week to week, Faye, I listen, I take notes, and I know Lidl is a mainstay on those grocery deals from the local store ads. What are some of your favorites this week?
Yeah, lots of good deals. Avocados, only 59 cents each over at Aldi. Tomatoes, only 99 cents a pound at both Aldi and Harris Teeter. And kiwi, only 3 for $1 at Food Lion and Harris Teeter. One of my favorite deals this week is sweet corn, 4 ears for $1 at Harris Teeter as well. Now, in the meat department, you'll find whole Boston butt pork roast for 99 cents a pound at Harris Teeter. Chicken burgers in a 16-ounce package, $2.99 at Food Lion. Italian sausage in a big 40-ounce family size, only $2.99 at Lidl. And deli sliced cheese is 3 for $5 at Lidl and $1.79 at Aldi. Plus Harris Teeter wrapped cheese singles in a 12-ounce package, or buy one, get one free for $1.75 each. And you can see all the top deals listed over on the Smart Shopper column.
Yes, by going to WRAL.com and looking for that consumer tab, search Smart Shopper, and we'll be waiting next week for that pre-Memorial Day sales you'll tell us about. Thank you,
Yes.
Faye.
Thanks, Jeff.
As we celebrate Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, we're taking a look at a Chicago restaurant that has made history in the 3 short years it's been open. The restaurant Kasama is the first Michelin-starred Filipino restaurant in the world. Tim Flores and Jeannie Kwan wanted to introduce people to Filipino cuisine inspired by Tim's heritage. Kasama means together in Tagalog, a Filipino dialect. Flores says his goal was to elevate the cuisine he knew best and make it more accessible.
When I started cooking professionally, Filipino food was just not what I learned at all. I learned Italian, some French, some contemporary American, so I never envisioned cooking Filipino food professionally until we decided to open our own place.
If you've never had Filipino food, it has Chinese and Spanish influences. Flores says it has similarities to Cuban food as well. Kasama has been racking up the honors. A Chicago Tribune food critic called Kasama one of the best restaurants in the world. All right, now I want to take a trip, and I'm hungry.
And it's lunchtime, so it fits perfectly. Maybe some outdoor dining today for some folks. A little breezy, maybe, but we don't need the sunshine to have a nice time outside at lunch, Elizabeth.
Yeah, boy, that did look good, didn't it? Whoa. You know, it's not terrible out there right now. Our temperature feels great. Our humidity isn't terribly high. It is on the cloudy side, and it's a little bit breezy, but, you know, it's pretty comfortable out there, really. We take a look at Goldsboro, and there's just some high, thin cloud covered, almost blue sky, but the high, thin clouds, of course, giving it that milky sunshine look. Same thing here in Fayetteville. You can see some shadows here right in front of our Fayetteville newsroom. I've seen a bunch of people walking up and down Hay Street. Chapel Hill and Apex both look a little cloudier, but it's not bad out there. You might look at the clouds and think, oh, you know, is it going to rain? It's not likely to rain during the daylight hours today. Now, you can see a line of thunderstorms that's down here in South Carolina and some rain that's starting to work its way up from, say, South Carolina into the southern part of North Carolina. We're going to see a low pressure system that will develop off the coast and spread some rain inland. We're going to see that tomorrow morning. It is going to be something that affects our morning commute. We'll start to see that rain around 6 o'clock, but it'll be out of the triangle around lunchtime. And then pretty quickly, as the low moves on up the coast, the rain should shut off, and it's not going to rain all day Friday. The next system that rolls through comes through on Saturday night, and the big question is, how long will it linger into Sunday? Some of the computer models move it out really quickly Sunday morning. Others linger it through lunchtime or even into the middle of the afternoon. Let's talk about Friday again. Here's a look at 6 a.m. We're starting to see some of that rain from the south moving into the triangle area. But by lunchtime, that's pretty much over. We're still seeing some rain at lunchtime right here from, say, Rocky Mount down to Clinton. But pretty quickly after that, it slides on out. As the low moves up the coast, that rain will go along with it. It'll be cloudy most likely for the rest of the day. Friday, we'll wake up to clouds on Saturday morning. But look at this. This is one of the newer runs of the computer model, the latest one we got in a couple of hours ago. It clears us out a little bit right there at lunchtime with a really pretty nice looking afternoon. And then here comes our cold front. That cold front starts to work its way into our viewing area pretty late, 8, 9 o'clock. The short range model, the high resolution model that I was showing you, goes out to 8 p.m. So we're going to switch gears and take a look at the long range model, which goes out a little farther. This is 8 a.m. Again, things looking pretty clear at 5 o'clock. And then here comes the front. That front moves through, bringing us some rain rain, maybe a little bit of heavy rain early in the morning Sunday. You can see that around 8 o'clock. And then by lunchtime, a lot of it's out of here. You may still see some of it along the I-95 corridor, but it zips on out pretty quickly. So it really looks like, again, Friday morning up through lunchtime, Sunday morning up through lunchtime, it's going to be the best chance for rain. There may be some areas in the east that see the rain lingering a little bit later. 60% chance on Friday, 40% chance on Sunday. Rain bump that up a little bit. But the latest round of Futurecast rainfall totals is a little bit lower than it was with the run before. So it's looking pretty light in our north and western counties. From the Triangle area east, or half an inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch. Our Exposures this weekend, we are a proud sponsor. So partly cloudy Saturday, a high of 81. We'll see showers and maybe some thunderstorms late and then early in the morning on Sunday. And then I think the afternoon looks pretty good. After that, we're looking pretty nice too for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. No big heat in our 7-day forecast.
She never had anything on her fingers for a long time, so I figured, I better get her something.
After a journey of 13 years apart, a woman and her ring are reunited. Ahead, how the valuable piece of jewelry made its way back to its rightful owner.
Here's a look at the winning Powerball numbers. We have 18, 34, 37, 45, 51. The Powerball is 14. The Power Play is 2.
We wrap things up with a look at a few of the headlines we're following for you today. A Harnett County deputy is now charged with the deaths of 2 people killed in a crash. Deputy Kevin Latart was chasing another car when he hit and killed Brian and Patricia Finch. This was back in March. Latart is set to appear in court on Monday.
We're following breaking news in Charlotte, where there is a large fire at a construction site. At least one person was injured. We're not sure if that was a construction worker. Firefighters spent nearly an hour trying to help someone trapped on a construction crane. We're told that person is safe.
Carolina Hurricanes will take on the Florida Panthers in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final tonight. The Canes have won 8 playoff games so far and have 8 wins ahead of them if they want to grab that Stanley Cup. Tonight's game drops the puck at 8 o'clock. We'll have live team coverage throughout our evening news. And join us at 7:30 for a special pregame coverage of all the Canes excitement.
A large Star Wars toy collection brought in some big bucks at auction. The collection included a Palitoy Star Wars vintage Return of the Jedi security guard figure and a Star Wars vintage Cantina action playset. The collection sold for nearly $350,000. That is more than 10 times the pre-sale estimate. A Minneapolis man is charged with stealing a pair of shoes worth $3.5 million. Clearly, they aren't any old shoes. They are the iconic ruby slippers from The Wizard of Oz. The 76-year-old man is charged with stealing the shoes from the Judy Garland Museum in Cedar Rapids, Michigan, back in 2005. The shoes were recovered in 2018 during an undercover operation in Minneapolis. The man is charged with theft of major artwork. The slippers are one of 4 remaining pairs.
A missing diamond ring and its owner have been reunited 13 years after it was flushed down the toilet accidentally. Mary Strand was given the ring as a 33-year anniversary gift by her husband. It got lost among the debris at one of several wastewater treatment plants in Minnesota. One employee made the unique discovery.
I've heard stories, but I don't know of anybody else that's found rings. Anybody who lost it, they would be able to describe it identically to the way it looks.
Yeah, this rare find came just 1,000 feet from where it was lost. The ring may be bent up a little bit now, but the couple is even more hopeful Mary doesn't lose it again. Still ahead, it looks similar to a real firearm, but it shoots a pepper spray-like chemical ball instead. A closer look at the new self-defense alternative hitting the market. That's today on WRAL News at 4 o'clock.
NBC News Daily is next on WRAL. Your next local news update in 30 minutes.
You can always get breaking news updates anytime with our WRAL News app. Go Canes tonight. Get behind the club. Game 1. Have a great day.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.